Good morning. It is good to see you and a joy and a blessing to be with you all on this beautiful Sunday morning. My name is Richard Mirage, and I'm the lead minister here at Unity Phoenix. Welcome.
And my name is Jimmy Scott, pastoral care minister here at Unity of Phoenix. What else you got for us?
You know, people love to, often ask the question, what is unity? What is unity? Well, unity is often referred to as a church of positive, practical Christianity. That unity is based on the teachings of Jesus, and we really call them spiritual laws, that they are spiritual universal principles that extend beyond Christianity, the law of love, the law of forgiveness, the law of gratitude. And we focus on Jesus' line when he said, the kingdom of God is within you. That we absolutely believe that the Spirit of God lives in each and every one of us. We are all children of God. We are all created in the image and likeness of God. And it is through those amazing spiritual powers within, through our prayer and positive words and actions, we can bring forth the glory of God and experience the kingdom of heaven right here and now. We often say we don't teach original sin, we teach the original blessing. And that is that we are all children of God, and we're here to live life and live it more abundantly. Amen? Amen. That's what unity is.
I can deal with that.
Can you do that?
So let's take our mission statement together.
Unity of Phoenix is a loving spiritual community that welcomes all people and honors all paths to God. We are dedicated to transforming lives by inspiring and awakening individuals to discover God's Spirit within.
Now is that time in our service for a time of prayer and meditation. So if you have your cell phone with you, I want to encourage you to place that either on silence or vibrate. And Rusty will lead us in our meditational song.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can feel the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. A timely reminder that it is that time for us to come apart for a while, to take that inward journey, to go a little deeper into our inner space, that space of creativity, that space of love, that safe place, that place where there is only you and God. So as we begin this time together, I invite you to, first of all, get comfortable in your seat, to take a deep, relaxing, cleansing breath, and to begin that mental process of slowing the mind down. Shutting down all of those busy thoughts and allow yourself to truly relax and to let go. And to become open and receptive to that healing, supportive, divine presence that resides deep within you. So again, I invite you to take a deep breath. Just totally relax. Within each and every one of us, there is an indomitable spirit. A spirit that has the power to transform our mundane daily experiences into excitement and enthusiasm about life and about living and about wholeness and about wellness. So as we spend a few moments in the quietness, I invite you to reflect on those things that are the utmost of importance in your life, and to begin to hold the vision for their orderly unfoldment. And actually feel what it would feel like to have them come into manifestation. In the scriptures, we are reminded to act as if we already have the answers to our prayers. So with faith and with positive expectation, I invite you to just get quiet and still, and to rest in that stillness for the next few moments. for all the trouble spots in our world, for all the trouble spots in our lives. We give thanks that we're learning to trust more and more in that great spirit that we call God. And as the prophets of old did, we give thanks in advance for the answers to our prayers. And so it is, and amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Good morning again, everyone. And special welcome to everyone who joins us online. Thanks for tuning in. So how many people here have ever not tried or gone after something you really wanted because you were afraid you'd fail or look silly trying? Anybody? And how many people here have ever closed off your heart and withheld your heart from opening and loving us fully because you might have been afraid of being hurt? Anybody? And how many people here have ever refused to reach out and ask for help or support because you're afraid you might look weak and needy? Anybody? And my question is, why? Why do we do that? Why do we hold ourselves back from living and loving and receiving and trying and experiencing life as fully as we can experience it? You know, even though Jesus said he came that we may have life and have it more abundantly, even though he said he came that his joy may be in us and our joy may be complete, even though he said it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, even though he said this and painted a pretty clear picture that we're here to have full and joyful and happy lives with unlimited good, the question is, what limits us and what holds us back from living life as fully and joyfully? You know, I would say it's one thing. One thing holds us back, one thing limits our good, one thing holds us back from experiencing as much love, and that is that at some level we don't believe that we're enough. That we don't think we're worthy of great levels of success or a happy, fulfilling relationship and incredible love and financial abundance. You know, we don't think that we are deserving of these things. You know, we're in the fifth and final week of our series on Brené Brown's fabulous book, The Gifts of Imperfection. How many people are reading that thing? It's a fair number. It's a fabulous, fabulous book. Because one of the things I love about this book is, you know, finally someone's saying, hey, we don't have to be perfect. You know, that we limit the level of joy in our lives by trying to please people and get their approval, by trying to perform and prove and achieve and acquire our way to feel good about ourselves, to feel that we're actually worthy of love and happiness and fulfillment. You know, that we can let go of those things and just be authentically who we are. Be true to ourselves And that frees up so much of that energy of trying to please people and be perfect that it actually liberates us to live life and to live it far more fully and far more joyfully. And if we had to go, and put it into 3 words, what living wholeheartedly and living fully and living life abundantly and joyfully is all about, the foundation of it is to believe and come to a sense of peace and to own 3 simple words, and that is, I am enough. Because we expend way too much energy trying to prove our worth, trying to perform, trying to be perfect to achieve some level so we can feel like we're good enough. And the truth is that we're enough right here and now. I am enough. Let's say that together. I am enough. Take a deep breath. So no matter what happens in your life, if you succeed all day long, if things don't go as well as you'd like, even when you're afraid, even when you're vulnerable, and that's the truth, that when we know that we're enough, it gets us out of having to prove, and it liberates that creative energy to truly invest ourselves in life, to truly be present to ourselves and our relationships. That I am enough. I am enough. It sounds so simple, but it is the very core of what holds us back or what liberates us from living life as fully as we would like to live. And so today we're talking about finding meaningful work, engaging in meaningful work, and finding our true sense of purpose, to do things that make us, give us our sense of meaning, achievement, and a feeling of purpose and fulfillment. And so when you meet somebody, what's the very first question we tend to ask them, anybody? What do you do? What do you do? We in our culture are so focused on what we do as being a part of our identity, a part of our self-worth, a part of our image, a part of our own value. And that sometimes, that many of us, struggle at throughout our lives or at different areas of our lives thinking, I don't know what my purpose is. It's one of the number one questions I get asked, and Reverend Jimmy and I get asked, is, Rev, I haven't found what my purpose is. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not finding fulfillment in my job. I don't know what I'm here to do. I'm not sure what my talents are and what I'm supposed to share. How many people ever have struggled at any time in your life with finding a sense of purpose, not being sure what you are here to do? And we struggle with that, quite a bit. And so here's what, she interviewed thousands of people who were living wholeheartedly, and here's what some of the things they said about finding our sense of purpose and finding a level of fulfillment. And here are the principles they said. Number one is that everyone has gifts and talents, and that when we cultivate those gifts and talents and share them with the world, that's what gives us fulfillment. That's what gives us meaning. Second is that when we squander our gifts and don't use them, it creates distress and emptiness and frustration and a sense of disconnection and a lack of fulfillment, even grief in our lives. 3 is that sharing our gifts is the greatest way to connect with God. Sometimes we think God is outside of ourselves and we look, but they say the kingdom of God is within us, and that discovering those gifts and sharing them actually makes us feel a greater connection to God. 4th is that using our gifts and talents in a creative and meaningful way takes a lot of commitment, because often the things that bring us fulfillment aren't always the things that pay our bills. Finding what our gifts are is not as easy or simple as we think. As simple as just, hey, that's my job. That's a perfect job. It actually takes a little bit more inner work. It takes a little bit more discovery and a little more effort than we realize. And so it's really a process. But what gets in the way of the process are these 4 things. Number 1, we engage a lot of self-doubt. I'm not good enough. I just don't have it. Other people have great skills. They've found what their talent is. I just haven't found mine. Maybe I just don't have any talent at all. Oh, and yeah, I'm good at that little thing, but that's not big enough. That's not enough. We are so quick to dismiss ourselves and our talents and what we do, thinking it has no value. I can't make money from it. We think that it's not big enough or important enough. Anybody ever have self-doubt? Okay. All right, okay, great, good. Just checking. And a part of that self-doubt leads us to judge ourselves. Like, you ever heard or anybody else say, I'm just a teacher, just a plain old accountant. just an ordinary mechanic. You know, we kind of devalue and judge ourselves a lot. And we compare ourselves, you know, he's making millions, but I hardly make any money. You know, we compare ourselves to others, you know, they're really good and I'm really inadequate. You know, so we engage in these types of things. And one of the last things that holds us back in the journey of finding fulfillment and our gifts and sharing them is that this clear, strong belief in our culture that what I'm here to do is necessarily my job. So what my full job is, and then we put ourselves in this cycle of frustration thinking it's the job, and it has to be the job, and we can sometimes never find a job that perfectly shares all of our gifts and talents. So how do we overcome this, all of this process, to truly find what we're here to do and to share those gifts and to experience a sense of meaning and fulfillment in our lives? Well, there are 4 things. Number 1 is embrace the doubts. You know what, that I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. And we have these at different stages, you know, through our college years, through our high school, even during our career, even when we retire, we get to stages in our lives where we just aren't sure, what's next? What do I do? Well, you know what? That's just a part of the creative process. Embrace the doubts. Don't run from them. Don't think you're doing something wrong. You're not. It's a part of the creative journey and process that everyone goes through. You know, every writer from time to time has writer's block. Everybody, artists, we have these things. And some of that angst is a part of the creative spark that needs to happen to help us open our minds to explore new things and to bring forth something greater. So don't run from the doubts or the judgments or any of the comparisons. Open yourself to them and just actually ask yourself, so why am I feeling this? So what's really going on? The more you face it and embrace it, it'll control you less and open up a path for something greater. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, and the second one is to pay attention to what you really enjoy doing. You know, instead of looking for the perfect job, pay attention of what lights you up. What sets you on fire? What do you have fun doing? You know, what's really enjoyable for you? You know, what do your friends say? Hey, you know, you're really good at that. I mean, what are those things that bring you joy? Focus away from what job to what is it that I actually have fun doing? Get down to the very core of what brings you joy, what brings you fulfillment. You know, and then the third one is to open a space for God to stir up whatever that gift is in you that you're here to share with the world. And again, don't just pray for the perfect job. Open a space to say, Spirit, what's the talents that I'm here to share? What is the difference I'm here to make? Reveal to me what is the unique qualities I have that you've brought me here to share and to bring forth more into the world. So it's taking the focus and attention away from the specifics of the job and opening a space for it, paying attention to those things. And then finally is you got to explore, and as Marcy Alborer says, you got to start exploring and living the slash. So here's the deal. Many people think it's their job, but often it is not the job. That we have to piecemeal our sense of meaning and fulfillment. Let me give an example. In North Carolina, I had an executive assistant. Her name was Wendy. She was absolutely fabulous. She was actually, for me and the senior minister, she was just absolutely phenomenal. But what she really enjoyed doing, what gave her a really sense of fulfillment and happiness, was organizing people's closets. And she did this for free. She did it for friends. She did it with family. She loved it. It lit her up like crazy. She loved being organized. I thought it was pretty sick, but it made her really fulfilled. Organizing boxes in the closet. And she did it all the time. And she was a brilliant executive assistant. And then, so what Marcy Alborer says is that you got to start exploring your slash. What's the thing other than your job that gives you joy? Don't care about how much money it makes, or don't think of any of those things. What little activities are you doing, like organizing your closet, or baking cakes, or walking dogs, or whatever it is? What brings you joy? And start paying attention and cultivating those things. Begin to explore your slash. She was administrative assistant / closet organizer. You know? I mean, someone could be a lawyer / chef. Accountant / photographer. You know, I mean, my brother is a dean and a professor / poet. You know, they're different people. You know, Rusty Farrakhan here was a full-time teacher up until 6 years ago. He loves teaching kids. He was a / singer on the side, didn't even fully slash it. He was just teaching. But something in him realized, this is what brings me joy. This is what lights me up. 6 years ago, he didn't want to give up teaching. He went part-time teaching, half-time teaching, and the other part, singing and acting. One of the best singers and actors we have here in Phoenix. But Rusty Farrakhan is living his slash. He's living his slash. So I ask you, what is your slash? Or what are your slashes? What are the other things other than your job you can start identifying and owning? It doesn't matter if you make money at it, whether it's an artist or whether it's a chef or someone who bakes, or someone who's an expert with kids or making people laugh. What are your slashes? Explore them. Cultivate them. And you will begin to find, even in those small areas, it'll bring your life more meaning. It'll bring you more fulfillment. And you know what? When you open up to more fulfillment, more meaning, guess what? You'll get more. More will be revealed when you let it come through you. Here's a little story. A water bearer in India had 2 large pots, and each hung on one end of a pole that he carried around his neck, back and forth, a half a mile, to the watering pond to bring back water for his master's home. And of the 2 pots, one was absolutely perfect, and the other pot had a bit of a crack in it. As he would fill them up and walk back, the one pot didn't spill any, and the other pot leaked out some, and only by the time got to the master's house, only had a half a pot of water. So he only delivered 1.5 pots of water rather than 2. This went on for 2 years. Of course, the perfect pot that delivered the entire amount felt perfectly suited and felt proud that he was so perfect at the job. The pot that had the crack in it that only delivered half, felt ashamed. And after the 2 years said to the water bearer, "I'm so ashamed. I feel so inadequate. I have not done my job and carried my full weight, delivering only half of the amount, every day for the last 2 years. And I've deprived you of more success and notoriety." And the water bearer felt so bad that this pot was feeling so ashamed and guilty. He just wanted to kind of brighten him up a little bit and try and, kind of look at the sunshine, look at the bright side. So he said, when you go back, just look at those beautiful, pretty, colorful flowers that are in the field as we go back on the path. And so he looks at him and he smiles a little bit, but he's still down. And he felt so down, the water bearer said, "Look, I've known you've had this little crack for the whole 2 years. And knowing that, what I did was planted little beautiful flower seeds all along the path. And so for the last 2 years, all those beautiful flowers you've seen, I've been able to cut those flowers every day and take them into the master's house. It has not only provided beauty for those who walk along the path, but also I've been able to bring those flowers in to the master's house. And notice that the flowers are only on your side of the path and not on the side of the other pot." And he said, "See, if you weren't exactly the way you were, all that beauty would not have been able to exist." And the moral of the story is, we're all crackpots. And and that whatever it is that you do, crackpot / water, flower creator. But the thing is, please don't diminish who you are. Please don't belittle those little gifts and talents. Just because it's not a part of your job does not mean it doesn't bring beauty and joy into the world, that it doesn't help people feel more happiness and creativity. Please own how magnificent you are. God created you magnificently and uniquely. And we get into this idea we're imperfect. We're not. That's a label we put on. You're created perfectly by God. We slap that label on. You are perfect and wonderful just the way you are. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Be proud of who you are. Let's stop wasting our energy comparing and belittling and being proud and being fully engaged in what we're doing, because that will bring meaning. That will bring joy more than anything else in our lives. Finding our sense of meaning is a joyful journey, and it's a journey. Don't expect it to happen all the time, but you need to be willing to explore the slash, to look at what brings you joy, to open a space for God and let those unique, different things come forth in you. And even if there are many slashes, let those things that bring you joy come out, and I guarantee you'll feel a life of fulfillment and meaning and joy, and it will bless more people than you realize. Second thing is that they focus on, besides finding your purpose and meaning, it's titled to laugh, dance, and sing. And it's from a quote by Mark Twain that says, dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's listening, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. And didn't somebody country song about dance like nobody's watching? Isn't there? Okay, but it's a Mark Twain quote. But here's what I like about it. What it's saying there, when it says dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's singing, and love like you've never been hurt, what it's saying is let go of the things that hold you back from really living the full life you want to live. Because how would you dance if no one was watching? Would you sing if no one was listening? So could we let go of, it's saying let go of whatever's holding you back and live and love and dance and try, and risk. Do whatever it is. So my question for you is, what are you holding back? What are you holding back that you know you're holding back, that you know it's time for you to let loose? What is the kind of life you've always wanted to live that it's time for you to try and step into it? What is it you've always wanted to do that you haven't allowed yourself to do yet? What is it you've always wanted to try that you haven't allowed yourself to try? What are some of the feelings that you want to feel that you haven't allowed yourself to go deep enough, to feel? What is the purpose that you're here, and are you willing to liberate yourself to live it fully and freely? And sometimes, doesn't it sound scary? We're scared to let go and just live our lives. But what do you think's riskier? Not trying, not being true to yourself, or opening your heart and living yourself authentically and going all out for what you want to get? To me, I think it's much riskier holding back. It is much more damaging. That's what it says in the Gospel of Thomas. It says this. These words are attributed to Jesus. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. But if you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. You are here to bring forth the glory of God that is in you. There's genius and beauty and creativity and unique things that only you can bring to the world. And the way for us to save ourselves, to bring more light and love into the world, is to bring it forth with joy. To risk and to step out in the wildest way possible. And that will elevate us, and it'll bless more people than we can possibly imagine. Joseph Campbell says that many of us think we're looking for the meaning of life, and we're not. He said what we're all really looking for is an experience of being fully alive. That's what we want. We want to be alive. Howard Thurman, the great theologian, says, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what brings you to life and go forth and do it. Because what the world needs more than anything else is people who are alive. And the foundation of being alive and living your life fully, I am enough. So when you feel like you're enough, it'll liberate you and you will live freely. You'll love, you'll risk, you'll try, you'll fail. You won't care because no matter how it goes, I am enough. And when you get to that place of loving yourself, to me, that is the greatest gift of imperfection. God bless you all.
So let's all stand now and join together in our closing song.
So the kids will help lead the person.
They will.
Yeah, they will.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now the kids will lead us in our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And that's the truth.
Yeah.